Hey, good morning everybody. Today we're testing the Rome Party Mod in collaboration with Snowboard Magazine. About to get some laps going out here at Copper. Let's get into it. All right guys, real quick for reference before I jump into the tech, I'm 5'10", I weigh around 155 pounds. I'm riding this snowboard in a 156 today. Now the Party Mod is going to be a more jibby, freestyle focused board on the Rome lineup, and it's a true twin. It runs their contact rocker profile, so it's flat through the majority of the snowboard with reverse camber in both the nose and the tail, and give you a nice, predictable, pressable, easy to control feel. It also runs their double V carbon hot rod, so there's 4 carbon hot rods built into the snowboard, 2 in the nose, 2 in the tail, running from the center of the board, kind of in a curved layup out into the tips, which is going to help give you a little bit more snap and energy out of the tips to help get a little bit more out of that rocker profile you're going to find. You're also going to get their flax impact plates. So right underfoot, there's some flax built into the layup of the snowboard to help offer a little bit of dampening and more durability, as well as their sinter strong base, which is like their standard sintered base material. Going to be a little bit harder and more durable compared to an extruded base. And while they claim this one is a little bit more low maintenance, I'd still recommend waxing this thing regularly to maintain a nice fast glide out here and keep this thing feeling good. So that's going to be it for a quick tech breakdown. We're going to get these laps going out here today and check back in a little bit later. All right guys, I gotta say, overall it's just been an absolutely gorgeous day out here at Copper. It's been so much fun lapping on the Party Mod, and just like overall impressions after a few hours of riding, this board's just fun. It feels good, it's easy to control, does what you want it to do, but still offers a decent bit of stability. Flex wise, I'd say it's right around a mid flex, maybe just a little bit on the softer side of medium. It's got a pressable feel to it, which is nice, but still offers some decent support. It's not a wimpy snowboard. It's like a good all-around freestyle board, whether you're just getting into the park or you're experienced. I'd say for like 95% of people, this is gonna be a great all-arounder for everything freestyle. And that includes flat ground and butter tricks. If you're into doing the flat ground stuff, this board does have that more pressable feel. The rocker and the tips really does help give you more leverage both on the snow and on rail features. So if you want to progress in that side of snowboarding, or you just enjoy doing that kind of stuff, this is definitely going to be a fun one for those butter tricks. And still comes through with some decent energy as well. I was actually pretty surprised. There's a few areas around Copper where you can just really load up the tail as much as you can, see how much pop and snap you can get out of these boards. And the Party Mod came through. Despite not having any positive camber in the profile, I think that carbon really does help. And it's not lacking in that department. You know, obviously it's going to be a little bit of a mellower pop compared to some of these traditional camber boards on the Rome line, but it's still plenty of fun and has that energy to give to help get you onto features or just get you in the air anytime you're trying to do that. And we did spend a good chunk of today hitting park laps out here, hitting a nice variety of features, jumps every lap through the medium line, as well as a ton of rail features. And like I said before, I think this is just a great all-arounder. For most of us spending time in the terrain park, this is gonna be a good time regardless of what you roll up onto. If you want to unlock presses, start working on more technical tricks, this board is going to have your back for that kind of stuff, or working towards that kind of progression. And even as you start to step up to larger features and bigger jumps, I think it's got some good stability for that as well. If you are a very strong park rider, you're working towards those higher impact scenarios often, you know, trying to hit like the biggest jumps that your mountain has, you might be able to find the limits of this snowboard. I think it could be a little bit washy in those real higher end scenarios, but for the majority of the time out there, just having fun, cruising the park, you know, not trying to do anything too crazy. You know, here at Copper, we see Red Bull helmets all the time, throwing doubles and triples, but you know, I think that's kind of like the top 1 or 2% of riders. So like I said, for most of us, this is just a really fun all-arounder. It's comfortable, feels good, it's fun, and it does what you want it to do. I do also want to talk about the carving experience you're going to find in this snowboard. So at a size 156, you're going to get a 25.4 centimeter waist. Pretty average for a freestyle board. Although if you do have a large boot size, like size 12, 13 or larger, I definitely would consider getting a wide option. But for me, cruising around, I didn't find the width was limiting at all. Heel and toe drag wasn't on my mind, and it felt really good out there. It has a larger side cut as well, a little bit above average. So the 5.6 has an 8-meter side cut, which I think gives it more of just like a mellow, cruisy feel. It's definitely not a board that is a carving focus. Obviously, you know, they designed this board to spend most of its time in terrain parks or just doing more freestyle focused kind of riding. But in those scenarios where maybe you're cruising to the park or you want to do some laps around the resort with the homies in the afternoon, I don't think this board's going to hold you back at all. The flex does match torsionally, so if you do start to push it and you find yourself in some chopped up conditions or some real heavy slushy conditions, you might get bucked around a little bit. I will say when I just straight bombed it and I just went as fast as I could, there was a little bit of chatter in the tips, but not as much as I thought there would be, considering that it's a softer flex with that reverse camber in the profile, and not enough to make it feel squirrely either. Overall, I think the Party Mod makes for a really fun daily driver if you're a more freestyle focused rider. It's a board that's going to be approachable for even beginner to low intermediate riders to grow into, and just be a fun all-arounder you can really progress with if you're a more advanced rider. So if you're looking for something that's pressable, it's easy to control, it does what you want it to do, but still offers enough stability to not really hold you back around the entire resort, consider the Party Mod. I'm gonna have this board linked down below if you guys wanna read more about it, as well as a link to the latest issue of Snowboard Magazine. So please make sure to go check that out. Leave any questions for us down in the comments, and don't forget to drop a like before you leave if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I appreciate all you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. This board was a lot of fun out here today, and we'll see you in a new review next time. Take care, everybody.